Urgent Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Pittsburgh Steelers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Steelers Nation! Today, we've got some incredible news that's shaking up the NFL world and, of course, the Steelers fandom. Everyone's talking about the quarterback position, which is arguably the most critical spot on any team, especially in a league where elite quarterbacks are often the difference makers between a winning season and an early exit. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you is something you don't want to miss, because it could change the way we see the Steel City's future. So buckle up, because this story is packed with surprises, strategy, and a whole lot of confidence from Pittsburgh. Let's set the scene. The NFL offseason is always a whirlwind of rumors, speculations, and strategic moves. Teams are making their plans, scouting new talent, and trying to figure out how to best position themselves for a successful season. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, this offseason has been no different. But what's caught many off guard is the recent revelation from an NFL insider that the Steelers are actually quite relaxed about their quarterback situation. I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, right? Especially considering the importance of that position. But if you think about it, the Steelers have built a solid foundation over the years, and their confidence in their roster might just be their secret weapon this time. Now, let's dive into what exactly this insider revealed. According to sources close to the Steelers organization, the team is not sweating the rumors swirling around the league about potential quarterback changes or the search for the perfect signal caller. Instead, they're maintaining a calm, strategic outlook, trusting in their depth chart and the talent they have at their disposal. This is a bold stance, especially considering the NFL's high-stakes environment where a single injury or a bad stretch can derail a team's entire season. But the Steelers' front office seems to believe they've got the right pieces in place, both young and experienced, ready to step up whenever needed. And this isn't just blind faith. The team has invested heavily in developing their roster, focusing on a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young players. For example, the quarterback room is not just about one star, it's about a system that can adapt, evolve, and keep the team competitive no matter who's under center. Think about it, players like Kenny Pickett, who showed flashes of brilliance last season, are now entering their second year with more experience and confidence. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin's proven leadership, has a reputation for developing quarterbacks and maximizing their strengths. They're not necessarily looking for an instant superstar, they're building a system where multiple players can succeed, and that's a game changer. You might be wondering, why would the Steelers take this approach? Well, it's simple. They believe in their talent pipeline. They've drafted well, they've signed strategic free agents, and they've cultivated a competitive environment that pushes everyone to improve. Plus, the NFL has evolved so much in recent years, offensive schemes are more complex, and versatility is key. So, instead of putting all their eggs in one basket, the Steelers are spreading out their bets, trusting that their staff and players will rise to the occasion. Now, I want to pause here for a second because this is a huge point. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Getting back to the core of this story, it's fascinating how the Steelers are handling what many other franchises might panic over. They're not rushing to sign a veteran, they're not obsessing over trading picks for a new quarterback. Instead, they're trusting their internal development and the talent they already have. This approach speaks volumes about their confidence in the system, in their coaching staff, and in the mental toughness of their players. It's a team that's playing the long game, and that's something Steelers fans should be excited about. Of course, this strategy also draws attention to the depth of the roster. Pittsburgh has invested in building a versatile, resilient team. On offense, they've got playmakers like George Pickens, who showed flashes of brilliance last season, and Deontay Johnson, a reliable target who can make big plays. The offensive line, while facing some questions, has the talent and experience to hold up, especially with the coaching staff working tirelessly to improve protection schemes. Defensively, the Steelers remain one of the most formidable units in the league, with a front seven that's aggressive and a secondary that's improving each year. They've got young stars like T.J. Watt, who is arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL today, and a linebacker core that's hungry to make plays. But what about the quarterback room specifically? Well, as I mentioned earlier, Kenny Pickett is the primary guy in the spotlight. After a promising rookie season, he's now being expected to take a big step forward. The coaching staff has been vocal about their confidence in him, and his off-season work has been highly praised. Pickett has shown maturity, leadership, and a strong arm that can make all the throws. The team's belief is that he can be the franchise guy, but they're also prepared if things don't go perfectly. They've got a solid backup plan in Mason Rudolph, and potentially others who could step in if needed. The point here is that the Steelers aren't putting all their eggs in one basket, which is a smart move in a league where injuries and unforeseen circumstances are part of the game. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't that risky? What if the season doesn't start well? And honestly, that's a fair question. But Pittsburgh's history shows that they're a resilient franchise. Remember, under Mike Tomlin, they've never had a losing season, and they've always found ways to compete, even when facing adversity. This season, they're banking on that same resilient mentality. They're betting on their coaching staff's ability to adapt and develop talent, on their defense's ability to keep games close, and on their offense's potential to surprise everyone. The NFL is unpredictable, but the Steelers seem to be taking a calm, calculated approach, trusting their process and their players. Let's talk a bit about the bigger picture. The AFC North Division is fiercely competitive, with teams like the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns all vying for the top spot. The Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, always pose a threat with their dynamic offense and mobile quarterback. The Bengals have Joe Burrow, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, leading an explosive offense. The Browns, with their revamped roster and Deshaun Watson now more integrated into the system, are also a team to watch. So, the Steelers' decision to be confident without making a splashy quarterback move could be a strategic advantage, allowing them to focus on building a well-rounded team that can hold its own against division rivals. And let's not forget about the draft and free agency. Pittsburgh has been smart in the offseason, adding pieces that complement their core. They've drafted offensive linemen to bolster the protection for their quarterbacks, and they've signed veterans who bring leadership and experience. This kind of strategic depth is crucial because, in the NFL, injuries are inevitable. Having a backup plan, a solid system, and a strong locker room culture can make all the difference in a grueling 17-game season. Now, to paint a picture of what this all could mean, imagine a season where Pickett or another quarterback steps up and becomes the leader everyone hopes for. The defense continues to dominate, creating turnovers and setting up good field position. The offensive line improves, giving the quarterbacks more time to make plays. The coaching staff's game plans are sharp, exploiting opponents' weaknesses and adapting as needed. If all of this comes together, the Steelers could be a dark horse in the AFC, surprising many analysts and fans alike. That's the beauty of football. Sometimes the best teams are the ones that quietly trust their process and strike at the right moment. Now, for the fans, I know these revelations might stir a mix of emotions. Some of you might be excited about the confidence the team is exuding, feeling optimistic about the upcoming season. Others could be a bit skeptical, wondering if this approach is enough to contend with the league's heavy hitters. That's totally normal, and that's what makes NFL football so exciting: the unpredictability, the drama, and the passion. But what's clear is that the Steelers organization is sending a message: they're not panicking, they're not rushing, and they believe in the talent and the system they've built. Looking ahead, the next few months will be critical. Training camp, preseason games, and the first few weeks of the season will be telling. Will Kenny Pickett step up and solidify himself as the franchise quarterback? Will the defense continue to dominate? Can the team stay healthy and maintain their confidence? These are the questions that every Steelers fan will have on their mind as they follow this team through what promises to be an exciting, unpredictable season. And I want to emphasize once again that this approach, this quiet confidence, could be exactly what the Steelers need to make a real push in 2024. They're not just hoping for the best, they're preparing, developing, and trusting their process. That's a mindset that has served them well in the past, especially under Mike Tomlin's leadership. So, as we head into the season, keep your eyes on Pittsburgh because they might just be the team that surprises everyone. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you believe in the team's confidence, or are you still worried about the quarterback position? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news from the Steel City. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's get ready for what could be an incredible season ahead. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, keep the faith in Pittsburgh because this team is ready to fight, ready to prove doubters wrong, and ready to make some noise in the NFL. Stay safe, stay excited, and I'll see you in the next video.